Good morning, good day, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this video. Thank you so much for clicking on it to start, because I'm still a very small channel trying to grow. But yeah, I really appreciated that you are watching this, and a like and subscribe would definitely be also appreciated. In this video, I want to talk about a question that I've seen being asked on different platforms, and that question goes as follows. Is Bitcoin truly decentralized? Because you have these big ETFs and these big institutions buying a lot of Bitcoin, but doesn't that take away the fact that Bitcoin is decentralized because they all own large amounts of Bitcoin and other people don't? Isn't that really the same as with the dollar or other currencies? So let's discuss that. But before we discuss that question or answer that question, we want to talk about the supply a bit and how the supply of Bitcoin is constructed. So the Bitcoin supply is designed to follow a pre-programmed schedule that gradually releases new coins into circulation. Bitcoin got launched on the 3rd of January 2009, and the supply started at zero, obviously. The supply gradually increases until the year 2140, when all the Bitcoins will be released. So the whole Bitcoin supply system relies on Bitcoin miners who are going to search for the next block. And every time a miner finds a block, he gets rewarded for it. However, these rewards are being cut in half every roughly 210,000 blocks. So that happens around 4 years. The mining rewards are cut in half. This is called the Bitcoin halving. We recently saw one a few months ago, and this system creates scarcity in Bitcoin, and this scarcity is really what makes Bitcoin go up and what makes Bitcoin so valuable. The reason why Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin, picked 21 million Bitcoin as a number is not entirely clear, though it is believed that it aligns with the halving schedule and maybe relates to the technical constraints of Bitcoin's original design. So let's talk about deflation. Bitcoin's total supply is capped at 21 million coins, but the effective money supply could actually exceed that number through what's called fractional reserve banking. So in this system, banks, or in this case exchanges, only keep a fraction of the deposits on hand and lend out the rest, thus creating more money or bitcoins in an economy than there actually is. So as a result, the amount of Bitcoin in circulation can appear larger than the fixed supply. While the fixed supply could lead to deflation, opinions differ on whether this is harmful to the economy or beneficial. Do you believe that the deflationary concept of Bitcoin is a good thing or a bad thing? Definitely let me know in the comments. So now let's talk about Bitcoin biggest holders. So let's bring this visual up where you can see the biggest Bitcoin public mining companies and how much Bitcoin they're currently holding. And a fun fact, Marathon Digital, the number one on this list, they said that they recently secured $250 million extra to buy even more Bitcoin. So great news there. Here you can also see a list of the biggest publicly traded companies where buying Bitcoin is an active strategy of these companies. And of course, MicroStrategy, which is Michael Saylor's company, is at number one with over 200,000 Bitcoin, which is a crazy amount. Here you also have a list of all the countries that hold Bitcoin. And of course, most of these have been acquired due to confiscation of illegal activities. The only countries that I know of that bought Bitcoin actively are El Salvador and Bhutan. Bhutan have mining operations going on. I know this list is also a bit outdated because Germany, by now, they already sold all of their 50,000 Bitcoin, but still interesting to see nonetheless. In this chart, you can see the total Bitcoin ownership, and two things that are very interesting to notice is that almost 3.7 million Bitcoin have gone lost. So those are taken out of supply, and of course, less supply, more demand, higher prices, good for us. Also interesting to see is that 12 million Bitcoin are currently held by individuals, so people just investing in Bitcoin like you and me. And Satoshi as well owning more than 5% of the supply, which is crazy. Going to the next chart, we have the total Bitcoin distribution. What I personally found crazy in this graph is that only 60k wallets hold 100 Bitcoin or more. Just keep in mind that Bitcoin was $3,000 or even less just a few years ago, and we're still very early, so God knows how this chart will look like in 5 or 10 years. Probably, hopefully, a lot more addresses added to these balances. Now we come to the most interesting chart, in my opinion, the largest Bitcoin holders. Unfortunately, we don't know who most of these unknown entities are in the individual lists. We do know two, Satoshi Nakamoto. Well, actually, we don't know him, but you know what I mean. And then the Winklevoss brothers, they have 70,000 Bitcoin, more or less. Fun thing is that Satoshi Nakamoto, all his Bitcoins, or her Bitcoins, their Bitcoins, are held on around 22,000 different addresses. Just a fun fact, but a crazy number. So now I want to break down the top 4 biggest individuals that are holding Bitcoin that we know of. So number 4, we have Michael Saylor with 17,732 Bitcoin. Michael Saylor is an American entrepreneur and co-founder of MicroStrategy, a business intelligence company. Michael Saylor is one of the biggest Bitcoin advocates out there. A crazy man, constantly buying Bitcoin. The time will tell if he's right or not. On the 3rd place, we have Tim Draper with nearly 30,000 Bitcoin. Tim Draper is a prominent American venture capitalist known for his early investments in companies like Hotmail, Skype, and Tesla. He's also very well known for his involvement in cryptocurrency, particularly for purchasing a lot of Bitcoin at a US government auction in 2014, where he bought all these Bitcoin. And then you have the Winklevoss brothers on place 2, Tyler and Cameron. They have an estimate of around 70,000 Bitcoin. These twins are investors known for their cryptocurrency platform Gemini, but they also gained fame for their legal dispute with Mark Zuckerberg over Facebook's origins, and later they became prominent figures in the crypto space when they started heavily investing in Bitcoin and other digital assets. On number 1, who would have guessed Satoshi Nakamoto with around 1.1 million Bitcoin, valued at approximately $78 billion in March 2024. Again, his Bitcoin is spread around 22,000 wallets, and none of them were actually ever spent, besides some early test transactions back in 2009. So to finalize this video, could BlackRock or any other financial institution really change the issuance schedule of Bitcoin? The short answer, no, of course they can't. The schedule is hard-coded into the Bitcoin protocol, which is decentralized and maintained by a global network of nodes. If you want to alter it, you need to get a consensus from the entire network, which is very unlikely. And of course, it would also undermine Bitcoin's foundational principles. Bitcoin will always remain decentralized in its network operations and protocol governance. But we can ask ourselves the next question, and it is, at what point do the holdings of BlackRock, Fidelity, MicroStrategy, and all the other big ETF providers mean that Bitcoin is no longer truly decentralized? Well, in my opinion, I think it's all a matter of perspective. I don't think an asset exists that is truly decentralized, because there will never be a system where all the assets are equally distributed amongst everyone without compromising the economic value of that asset. However, big companies can, of course, influence the market dynamics and the price of this asset when they start buying a lot or when they start selling their assets in large quantities. Also, 2 little things to keep in mind is that, well, for once, these big ETFs or these big companies like BlackRock, they don't directly own this Bitcoin, they just hold them for their clients. And for example, MicroStrategy, it's a public company, so people own shares in that company, so technically people also own the Bitcoin that the company is holding. And also with Bitcoin itself, it's not like there are 21 million fixed Bitcoin, and those 21 million need to be distributed amongst the billions of people that are living on Earth. Bitcoin can be divided in satoshis, and 1 Bitcoin is 100 million satoshis or sats. And yeah, that makes it so that everyone can own a little piece of 1 Bitcoin as well, instead of having to own 1 whole Bitcoin. So I hope you liked this video. What do you think? Do you believe Bitcoin is truly decentralized or not? Let me know in the comments, and I'll be back in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers. Bye-bye.